Hi there, this is Krishanti. Today we are going to see legal forms of business organization. There are three common forms of business organizations. The first one, sole proprietorship. It is a one-person business. Second one, partnership. A group of people like your friends and family members doing business together. Third one, corporation. In Sri Lanka, we can call it as company or corporate companies. It is a big company. They are engaged in large volume of business activities and they have a large market shares in the business community. And also, this company is allowed to sell their shares to public. Now we will see each detailing. First one, sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is a single person business and it has no legal status, which means the owner and business are not separated. As such, we can say owner is the business, business is the owner. Anything good or bad happens to the business will affect the owner. Maximum owner allowed for sole proprietorship is only one person. Sole proprietorship cannot have more than one owner and he or she has unlimited liabilities, which means if the business is having a debt means loans or any other obligation, the owner will have to use his own money to pay for the debt. If the business is bankrupt, the owner will become a bankrupt as well. So what do you mean by the bankrupt here? The bankrupt means the points where the owner of business cannot perform the business activities, and also it can be called failure of the business. All the properties and assets of the company are owned by the sole proprietor and business also managed by the sole proprietor by his or herself. The termination of the business occurs when the owner dies or when the owner chooses to terminate the business. These are the characteristics of the sole proprietorship. We will see the advantage of the sole proprietorship. The first one, it is easy to form and easy to dissolve. You can easily start up this sole proprietorship. At the same time, it can be easily dissolved. Dissolve means close the business or winding up the business. Second one, cost of establishment and cost of maintaining is usually lower. So compared to the partnership and company, the startup costs are very low in the sole proprietorship, and also maintenance costs like office maintenance, human resource maintenance are very, very low compared to other two businesses. Generally, minimal regulation is required, and also owner has maintained more secrecy regarding his or her business. Not many rules or laws owner have to comply, and owner doesn't have to disclose institution information to the public. And also, another important advantage, owner of the business can have a complete and ultimate control over the business. And also further, the profits of the business can enjoy by the owner of this company and no need to share the profits with any partners as he is the only owner of the business. We can say the disadvantage of the sole proprietorship. First one is unlimited liabilities. This means that owner will have to pay for all the debts of the proprietorship. If owner are not repay the debts, the company will be bankrupt and owner will be bankrupt as well. And third one, limited fundraising. As owner is the only one running the business, doesn't have the other partners who can contribute money to run the business. And also, banks or financial institutions might not consider lending money to the sole proprietorship if the sole proprietorship does not have, it's the proprietor does not have a good credit track records in the past. So generally, the banks and other financial institutions requires a proper good credit record to lend the money to anyone. So if the proprietor does not have the good track record, it means number of check returns is high and loans are went to the non-performing loan category. So that time it's a bad credit record that maintained by the sole proprietor. So if we have the bad credit record, the banks or financial company will not be entertain us to get the money from them. And proprietor must be jack for all trades. So what do you mean by the jack for all trades? Means owner must know everything and be able to do everything for the business. As owner alone, owner has to do marketing, logistic, accounting, and finance on his own. So owner effort to run the business is high when we compare to the sole proprietorship and company. So the firm institution is terminated when the proprietor dies. Unfortunately, the business will not continue if the owner passed away. Second, we will see partnership. Partnership has no legal status, just like sole proprietorship, which means the partner and the business are not separated. Partners are the business are the partners, like sole proprietorship. Anything good or bad happens to the business will affect the partners. So maximum number of owners allowed for partnership is minimum 2, maximum 20 partners. And partners has unlimited liabilities, just like sole proprietorship, which means if the business is having a debt, all the partners will have to use their own money to pay off that particular debt. If the business is bankrupt, the partners will become bankrupt as well. So, and same time, all the properties and assets of company are jointly owned by the partners. Further, every partner in the business is entitled to participate in the management of the business. And also further, if you see the termination of the business occurs when any one of the partners dies, becomes bankrupt, withdrawals from the business by any partner, or become insane. Insane means mental problem faced by any partner. You can terminate your business easily. So what is the advantage of this? It is relatively easy to form and dissolve a partnership. Dissolve means close the business and raise more funds than sole proprietorship. So you have the more partners, then you can contribute the money to the business easily. So I said you can easily raise more funds than sole proprietorship. The limited partnership permits some of the partners the privilege of limited liability. For an example, if a partner only contributes 10% of the partnership capital, the partner may have to pay 10% debts of the company. So this is limited by the capital involvement. So this type of the partner will be exposed to be a lower risk partner. It's called the limited partnership. There are a number of partnership. There are different types of the partnership exist in the business world. So now we will see the disadvantage. One disadvantage is unlimited liabilities. It's similar to sole proprietorship. For sole proprietorship, partners will have to pay for all the debts of the company. If the partners are not able to buy the debts of the company, will be bankrupt, and the partners will become bankrupt as well. Each partner is liable for the actions of other partners. Okay, so let's say some partners involved in the customer activities. If the customers, due to the malpractices of this particular partner, the customer may get the dissatisfied or dissatisfied with the business. At that time, that dissatisfaction affects the other partners as well. So next we will see difficulty of partnership transferability. If you are not happy with the one partner, you cannot simply transfer your partnership to another person. So when we see the termination of partnership, let you say business has 3 partners. If one partner dies, become bankrupt, or withdraws from business or become insane, the partnership is considered being terminated. Now we will see corporation or corporate companies. In Sri Lanka, we can say it as a company or corporate institution. From the legal status, it has separate legal entity, which means the company and the owners are separated. If the company is in debt, the creditors can only take the action against the company, not the shareholders or owner of the company. Here, shareholders are the owners of the corporation. For the maximum number of owners allowed for corporations, the private corporation is allowed to have minimum 2 to maximum 50 owners. Owners of corporation have limited liability. So if the corporation, in the public company, it's allowed to have a minimum 2 and no limit on maximum number of owners. And owners of corporation have limited liabilities. So if the corporation is bankrupt, it will not affect the owners or shareholders. The maximum loss for shareholders will be the amount of money that they pay to buy the shares. They don't have to pay the debts of the company with their own money. This is very different form from sole proprietorship and partnership. And all the properties and assets company are owned by the company, not the shareholders, because company is a separate legal entity. Company is treated as a person. Company can own assets. Company can get involved in the legal action under the law. Company can borrow the money from the banks. That's what we mean separate legal entity. So corporation also managed by the board of directors. This board of directors may not be the shareholders of the company. Usually the most of the shareholders are not the management of the company. For the termination of the company, it would only happen to undergoing legal winding up. So not like sole proprietorship and partners. So if the company is terminated, if the company is winding up their services or terminated or dissolved, it can be done through the legal actions. So corporation is assumed to have perpetual succession, which means it can do business until forever. However, if the company is not able to pay back for the debt, the company will be liquidated, eventually becomes bankrupt. But that time corporation is terminated. The corporation is terminated, but it has to go through the legal process. So what we will see the advantage of this corporate compared to sole proprietorship and partnership. Owners of the company have limited liabilities. Shareholders don't have to pay for the debts of the company by using their own money. It is easy to raise the capital under company. Company can raise capital from the public and continuity of the business regardless of owners, withdrawal or death. Even the founder passed away, the business will continue to run. Ease of ownership of transferability. If you buy the shares of the company, you become the owner of the company. One day, if you are not happy with the management of the company, you may just sell the shares and walk away from the business. So if you don't have to sign any contract or go through any process for transferring the ownership. And the professional bodies are managed by the professional companies would have sufficient funds to hire the professional people to run the business on behalf of the shareholders. Now we will see the disadvantage. It is complicated to form a company. You may need a professional assistant to help you on this. You may have to fill up many registration forms, and the waiting time for approval is so longer. And also high organizational cost involved. For running a business, you will have to pay professional people to work for you. So you have to pay auditors for checking your company's accounts. Corporation will have to comply with company rules and regulations as well as the laws of the country. Corporations are also required to disclose the financial statement of the company to the public. That's why it could be hard for the company for keep secrets. Thank you.